Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Country Conversations with DVD. And I bet you're looking at that thumbnail and saying, what do these three people have in common? Well, they have each other in common. And we're going to talk about Miss Destiny Payton, who was formerly on Carlos King's show. And then we're going to talk about Miss Erica Mena, who did an interview with Mr. Carlos King. Now, she is being accused of being the colorist of the year, allegedly. Quite honestly, I agree with that statement. Okay, now let's start with Destiny. On yesterday, Crime Stoppers was looking for Destiny, stating that she allegedly forged her ex-husband's signature to utility documents. Now, let me just say on that, in my opinion, I feel bad for Destiny. Let me start there. However, when you commit crimes such as this right here and you're dealing with people's finances and you making their money look funny, I strongly believe that if you did this thing, then you should do time for that thing that you did. Just like I believed that British Williams should have done time. Because unlike, actually fighting someone in the streets, you are actually taking money out of their pockets and not allowing them to pay their bills in their home. And some people were looking at me like, Diva, now, you shouldn't have been that hard on British. However, as a mother, they said. However, I'm looking at it like this. As a mother, me knowing that I have children, I'm not going to forge anyone's signature on legal documents to get myself put in these type of situations. However, again, I do have compassion for Destiny. I did like her on the show. I didn't think she gave enough in the last season, and she was too supportive of Motel Hotel. However, like I said, even as a mother with this type of situation, I do feel bad. I take that back. I don't feel bad for Destiny because she should have known better. I feel bad for her child. But LeBert is apparently he must be willing to step up to the plate because, honey, in my opinion, I can't think of anyone that would have actually turned her in besides him. He wasn't thinking about her as the mother of his child, and she wasn't thinking about her child when she allegedly forged his signature. Now, moving right along to the interview that Mr. Carlos King had with the colorist of the year, allegedly. Well, she didn't even get into the crux of the issue, what we really wanted to hear. She talked about her childhood. She talked about her marriage with Safari, and she talked about her affair with DJ Envy. Being that these things have been dragged through the press for the last 4 or 5 years, they weren't interesting to me. Now, I do understand where she's coming from when she says that she wasn't the only one involved in the affair with Miss Envy. Envy was involved in the affair as well. And it's always the mistress who get dragged through the mud. And I understand where she's coming from there because I only heard her name being dragged and she's correct. And the same thing with Ariane Curry, the lady who had the affair with Mr. Motel Hotel. Now, however, with her, the problem with her was that she continued to talk about his ex-wife Melody. And Melody is well loved in these YouTube, Huntsville, and television streets. I myself am a Melody. So as I watched Ariane drag Melody, she acted as if she had no culpability. And that was my problem with her. Now, it seems in this interview that Miss Erica Mena does take some responsibility for her affair with Anthony. And she also takes some responsibility in her marriage to Safari not working out because she said she wasn't submissive enough. Well, if he wanted to go, honey, you could have wiped his dirty butt. If he wanted to go and he did not want to be there and he did not want to be the husband that you wanted him to be, it was absolutely nothing you could do because you admitted on this interview that he allegedly had many affairs. You cannot keep a man that does not want to be kept, in my opinion. Now, Miss Erica Miller also talked about, um, you know, her relationship with VH1. However, she did not speak on the blue monkey comment, which is what I was there to see. That won't air until October the 31st, from my understanding. That's what Mr. Carlos King said at the end of the interview. So I'll be back to discuss that. However, they did not discuss it on this actual interview. Now, again, to wrap things up, Carlos King did an interview with Miss Erica Mena. The Blue Monkey discussion was not brought up in this interview, and I think I wasn't the only one that was there just to see that. Okay. And then Miss Destiny Payton Williams has turned herself in. Stay tuned to Country Conversations with Diva D for further news updates. And with that, I'm going to chunk them up. Juicy!